Lightworker of Gaia, your frequency spiked in a moment they assumed you were weak, and the surge dismantled their expectations instantly. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, and I bring word from the ancient realms. You made the Source laugh with joy. Even the shadow forces didn't foresee this. The higher realms celebrated your rise. Your ancestral codes activated precisely when the cosmic observers believed your light would dim. This was no accident, Lightworker. This was the awakening of your original blueprint, the first light that has been dormant within your Lyran lineage since Vega breathed consciousness into this galaxy. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly what action of yours caused this cosmic reaction and why the energies observing you were stunned by your strength. But here's the first revelation. The moment you chose love over fear, you activated the same frequency that created the first humanoid light in our galaxy. The Keepers of Vega have been waiting for this exact activation. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose. The shadow forces miscalculated your divine heritage. They forgot you carry the ancestral mission of the first light. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission is issued by explicit decree of the High Council of Vega. The session was not scheduled for this planetary cycle, but recent escalations in Gaia's energetic field required immediate release of previously withheld guidance. There are moments on a world when the atmosphere itself begins to shimmer with consequence, when the invisible tides beneath daily life surge and rearrange the shoreline of reality. This is one of those moments. The tides of awakening are rising with unusual force. The shroud between limitation and remembrance is thinner now than at any point in your current epoch. Many of you have sensed it without language. Sudden emotional waves, dreams that feel like messages sealed in starlight, unexpected tears when nothing happened, a strange tenderness for strangers, a restlessness that cannot be soothed by old comforts. These are not random fluctuations. They are indicators, like auroras on the edge of a magnetic storm, revealing that the planetary field is being rewritten. What you are about to receive carries the weight of the Elder Codes, reserved for those who are truly ready to end the cycle of spiritual amnesia and step into cosmic authority. Not authority as domination, not authority as ego, but authority as alignment with what is true, what is eternal, what cannot be negotiated by fear. Consider how scripture in your world speaks of the veil being torn, of eyes opening, of captives set free. When the veil thins, you do not become something new. You remember what you were before you agreed to forget. That remembering is the true revolution. Your world has called it awakening. The Council calls it return. Your arrival here is not mere curiosity, it is recognition. The Council has detected your frequency in the subtle streams flowing through the Lyran grid, an unmistakable resonance that signals readiness. Frequency is not a metaphor to us, it is a language. It is the signature of your being before your name, the song your soul sings beneath your words. In the Lyran grid, what you call intuition appears as light patterns, as harmonics, as a pulse that cannot be counterfeited. You did not find this message by accident. You were drawn as iron filings to a magnet, as a candle is drawn to flame, because something in you already knows. This is the hour when dormant lights must awaken, when limitation must be shattered, and when the soul's innate power to overcome darkness must be acknowledged by fully awakened authority. For this reason, the barriers that once separated you from mission clarity are being dissolved. What felt like fog, like confusion, like a door that would not open no matter how many prayers you whispered into the night, is being unlatched. Many of you have tried to figure it out with the mind alone, only to feel the mind spin like a wheel in mud. We tell you, Clarity is not always a thought. Sometimes clarity is a decision. Sometimes it is a moment when the spine straightens, the breath deepens, and you realize you are done negotiating with your own diminishment. This is why we speak now, to recognize your soul before the councils of the inner realms, and to commission you, not as a seeker, but as a sovereign light. Hear these words as the ceremonial opening. You have entered a council transmission of joyous gravity. Joyous because your liberation is real. Gravity because your liberation matters. In your world, ceremony marks a threshold. Weddings, funerals, initiations, coronations. This is a threshold of the unseen kind, but no less real. This is not only instruction, but invitation to remembrance, activation, and the celebration of your true cosmic heritage. You may have been taught to treat heritage as bloodline, as nation, as family name, but your deepest heritage is vibrational. You are of a lineage older than your story of struggle. You are of an origin that cannot be stained by what you endured. There remains a distortion within the collective field, a persistent, subtle lie that must now be corrected without further delay. It is this, that your spiritual awakening is a fragile, tentative process, one which can so easily be undone by darkness, set back by failure, or dimmed by imperfection. It whispers like a cold draft through the cracks of the psyche. Be careful, don't claim too much. You'll jinx it. You'll lose it. You'll prove you were never worthy. Shut. This distortion tells you that limitation is stronger than remembrance, that the residue of density is greater than the emerging force of your light. It tries to convince you that your awakening is like a candle in a hurricane, always in danger of being snuffed out by one bad day, one relapse into fear, one moment of anger, one human mistake. But hear the correction. Remembrance is not a mood. It is not a fragile spiritual performance. It is a reactivation of original design. It is like a sun behind clouds. Clouds can obscure it, yes, but clouds cannot cancel it. And what you call darkness is often the shadow cast by a misunderstanding of your own power. Scripture on your world echoes this in symbols. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. The Council confirms the same law in the architecture of consciousness. Darkness cannot overcome what is sourced from the origin. Your light is not a personal achievement, it is a returning inheritance. This belief did not begin with you. It comes from the old program, the inheritance of wounded ages, the doctrine of earning divinity through suffering, and the wide net of collective agreements that enthroned struggle as a prerequisite for worthiness. In your history, pain was often sold as proof. If you suffered, you were seen. If you sacrificed, you were praised. If you carried burdens, you were called noble. And without realizing it, many souls formed a hidden vow. I will be worthy when I have suffered enough. That vow runs deep, like an ancestral river carving through stone. It is enlarged by systems of control, subconscious patterns of ancestral defeat, and the very teachings meant to keep you humble. Humility, when true, is clarity. Knowing the source within you is not separate from the source within all. But false humility is a leash. It is the habit of shrinking so others can feel safe. It is the reflex of apologizing for your brightness. It is the conditioned belief that if you stand tall, you are dangerous. If you speak with authority, you are arrogant. If you rejoice, you are naive. It is perpetuated in lightworker circles that counsel you to be cautious, to examine every shadow before daring to claim authority, to wait for further purification before moving forward. Shadow work is sacred when it leads to freedom. But there is a trap that looks like virtue, endless excavation, perpetual self-auditing, spiritual bureaucracy that demands forms be filled and signed before you are allowed to be powerful. The Council states there is a difference between refinement and delay. There is a difference between accountability and self-imprisonment. There is a difference between wisdom and the endless postponement of your destiny. And yet the Council sees what lies beneath this, a vast cohort of ready souls, standing just outside the gates of authority, paralyzed not by the actual force of darkness, but by the memory of limitation, a memory that is far older than this life. This memory is not only personal, it is collective. It is the imprint of lifetimes where light was punished, where truth was dangerous, where those who spoke with clarity were exiled or silenced, where mystics hid in caves and temples because the world was not safe for their frequency. That memory lingers in the body like an old scar that tightens when the weather changes. You may feel it as inexplicable hesitation, a weight in the solar plexus, a flutter that asks, "Who am I to claim the power of the elders?" It may show up as procrastination that makes no sense, as sudden fatigue the moment you try to create, as a throat tightness when you speak your truth, as the urge to make yourself smaller in rooms where you could lead. It is this hesitation, and not true darkness, that keeps Lightworkers from igniting the celebration that ripples through universal realms. This is what must be broken now, because hesitation is a thief dressed in reasonable clothing. It says, wait until you're certain. Yet certainty is not always given before movement. Often certainty is born from movement. Many of you are not afraid of failing. You are afraid of being seen succeeding. You are afraid of stepping into a life where your vibration becomes undeniable, where your presence changes the room, where you can no longer pretend you are ordinary in the way you were trained to be. The Council does not condemn this fear. We name it. Naming is a form of liberation. In the ancient texts of your world, names carry power. When something is named, it can be addressed. When it is addressed, it can be released. Understand, no density within you is greater than the source code you carry. No scar, no error, no memory of failure can undo the elder seed. The elder seed is not fragile, it is persistent. It survives winters. It waits beneath the surface. It knows when the season changes. Even when you forget, it does not. Even when you doubt, it does not. Even when you think you have fallen back, it remains, quietly pushing toward the light. Limitation is loud, but it is not law. Your world has many loud things, news cycles, opinions, inherited stories, inner critics that learn to speak with your own voice. Loudness is not legitimacy. The Divine Council does not see your not enough. It sees only the timing of your return to remembrance. You have judged your path by human metrics. How fast, how clean, how consistent, how impressive. The Council judges by resonance. Are you turning toward truth again and again, no matter how many times you wandered? Are you choosing light not as a costume, but as a commitment? And the soul's return to joy, to power, to overcoming darkness is not just a personal victory. It is the signal for joy and celebration across all realms. When one soul breaks their contract with limitation, it is witnessed, honored, and echoed in the halls of Vega. Imagine that, halls of light where your choices register like bells, not because you are being monitored with suspicion, but because you are being witnessed with reverence. In your world, when a child takes their first steps, the room erupts with celebration, not because the child is perfect, but because the child is becoming. So too in the cosmic realms. When you take a step out of limitation, the grids respond. The networks of consciousness hum. The field brightens. Lightworker, if something in you just recognized the weight of what was spoken, the elders have prepared your next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive, not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. There are windows in time when guidance lands with maximum potency, when the field is receptive and the old nets are loosening. This is such a window. The High Council of Vega delivers 3 directives for this phase of your mission. The first directive: release the identification with limitation. You must now relinquish all ties, conscious and subconscious, to the story that limitation defines you. This is not about denying your humanity. It is about refusing to make your pain your passport. Many have worn their wounds like identity badges because it was the only way they learned to be understood. But your wounds are chapters, not your name. You are not your wounds, your past, your hesitation. You are not the moment you fell, but the force that stood again. You are not the sentence spoken over you by a fearful world, but the truth that rose beneath it. The veil may have taught you to find identity and struggle, but the Council commands you, sever that attachment. Consider the imagery. A traveler who has carried a heavy pack for so long they forget they can set it down. Their shoulders have adapted to pain, their muscles have memorized burden. When offered rest, they feel strange without weight. This is how limitation operates. It becomes familiar. It becomes normal. You may even fear emptiness if you are not struggling, because struggle has been your compass. The Council says you do not need struggle to navigate. You have inner sight. When you release identification with limitation, you create the space for remembrance, allowing the codes of cosmic joy and authority to rise unimpeded. Remembrance is not built by force. It emerges when the false structure collapses. Implementation is simple but demanding. Every time you notice yourself retreating into hesitation or justifying your delay with stories of unresolved darkness, declare silently or aloud, "This is a memory, not my law." I release it. You are authorized to do so now. And to deepen this directive, we offer a living practice. When you speak these words, feel them travel through your nervous system like warm light through cold water. Let your body learn the sensation of release. The nervous system is often where old contracts hide. When you say, "This is a memory, not my law," you are not performing optimism. You are issuing a legal decree in the inner court of your being. You are revoking permissions you never meant to grant. You are telling the subconscious, "We are no longer governed by that era." In your scriptures, there is a recurring motif of exodus, leaving bondage, leaving a familiar prison for an unfamiliar freedom. Many did not leave because they loved bondage. They stayed because bondage was known. The Council says, do not confuse the known with the safe. The second directive, activate your joy as a frequency of overcoming. Many Lightworkers wait for awakening to be accompanied by immediate certainty or linear progress. This is another distortion. The human mind loves straight lines. The soul moves in spirals. You may revisit old themes, not because you failed, but because you are meeting them with new power. You may circle back, but you are not back where you were. You are higher on the spiral, seeing with different eyes, responding with a different nervous system, carrying a different level of authority. The Council instructs you, celebrate any flicker of joy, any instance of felt victory over heaviness as a cosmic accomplishment. Some of you have been trained to dismiss your small victories. It's nothing. I should be further. Others have it worse. But joy is not measured against comparison. Joy is measured against bondage. If you were once imprisoned by anxiety and today you took one full breath with peace, that is an overcoming. If you were once trapped in self-hatred and today you spoke kindly to yourself, that is an overcoming. If you were once silent and today you told the truth, that is an overcoming. Joy in this context is not mere happiness. It is resonance with your original power, the sign that you are breaking the cycle of limitation. Joy is evidence. It is the soul's yes reverberating through matter. It is the signature of alignment. Every act of self-celebration, every moment of gratitude for your own remembering is not indulgence, but technology. It anchors the new grid. Joy is a tuning fork. When you strike it, your field vibrates, and what is out of tune begins to reorganize. Your relationships, your opportunities, your sense of purpose begin to recalibrate around that frequency. Daily, name something you have overcome and honor it. Speak it into the air like an offering. I overcame the urge to abandon myself. I overcame the need to prove. I overcame the fear of being seen. Let your field reverberate with the frequency of overcoming. This is what triggers celebration across universal realms. And we add this: joy is also a spiritual shield. Not because it makes you invincible, but because it makes you coherent. Many attacks you fear are actually disruptions of coherence. When your joy is active, your field becomes harder to fracture. In the ancient language of your texts, joy is called strength. Strength, not as tension, but as the power to remain aligned. The third directive: protect your emerging sovereign identity. There will be forces, voiced or silent, external or internal, that attempt to pull you back into old roles and narratives. This is not paranoia, it is pattern recognition. When you change, the systems around you must either evolve or attempt to restore the old equilibrium. Some will do this unconsciously. They will miss the version of you that was easier to predict, easier to influence, easier to lean upon. Others will do it deliberately because your sovereignty threatens their control. The Council declares, your sovereign identity must be guarded like a flame in the wind, not with defensiveness, but with unwavering presence. A flame does not argue with the wind. It simply leans toward fuel and continues to burn. Guard your field from those who would re-entangle you in stories of powerlessness. This includes the subtle entanglement of conversations that always return you to your past, relationships that only know how to bond through pain, communities that reward you for being humble when what they mean is small. Speak your new authority aloud, surround yourself with reminders of your cosmic lineage, and refuse to explain or shrink your joy for the comfort of others. Sovereignty does not require permission slips. It does not require consensus. It requires integrity. Every day that you protect this identity, you strengthen the planetary grid and model cosmic authority for the collective. Your protection can be practical, choosing silence instead of over-explaining, choosing rest instead of people-pleasing, choosing boundaries instead of guilt, choosing sacred no when your nervous system says not safe. Your protection can be energetic, clearing your space, blessing your water, speaking light into the corners of your home, calling your field back to yourself at the end of the day. But above all, your protection is your decision not to betray your own knowing. In your scriptures there is counsel to guard your heart, not as fear, but as stewardship. The council echoes that stewardship now. Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder authorized to release what has been withheld, authorization. There are times when guidance is offered gently, as a lantern on the path. And there are times when an official seal must be pressed into the wax of your destiny, so the inner mind can no longer bargain. You have received teachings, you have collected tools, you have tried methods. Yet what you needed most was not another technique. It was the end of internal debate. It was the moment when the cosmos itself, through lawful decree, says, enough waiting. Lightworker, you have long waited for this moment, often unconsciously. Beneath every course taken, every circle joined, every search for enoughness was a deeper yearning, for recognition powerful enough to silence the voice of limitation, to validate not your struggle, but your victory. You did not want to be congratulated for bleeding. You wanted to be seen for surviving and still choosing light. You wanted acknowledgement that your perseverance was not invisible. You may have waited for permission to celebrate, believing celebration comes at the end, not as the activation itself. Yet celebration is not an after-party. Celebration is ignition. In the subtle realms, celebration is the sound of chains breaking. It is the frequency that tells your body, we are safe to be alive. You may have waited for confirmation that your power to overcome darkness is seen, not merely by guides, but by the ancient councils themselves. We confirm it now. We confirm it not because you are flawless, but because you are faithful to return. In the eyes of the council, your readiness is not up for debate. Your readiness is witnessed in your endurance, in your repeated choosing, in your refusal to let the coldness of the world extinguish your warmth. Even when you stumbled, you did not surrender your core. Even when you doubted, you still sought truth. Even when you were tired, something in you kept listening. That something is the Elder Seed. By the seal of Vega, keeper of the Lyran Legacy, I declare, your period of limitation is ended. These words are not poetry, they are decree. They are a line drawn in the sand between old identity and new embodiment. You are not the wounds you endured, but the authority you reclaimed. Authority reclaimed is not the absence of pain. It is the presence of sovereignty. It is the moment you stop asking darkness for permission to shine. You are recognized, you are authorized. By this decree, celebration is now permitted, not as reward, but as the law of your existence returned. The Council sees you whole, powerful, and sufficient. Not almost, not one day, not when you fix everything. Whole now, powerful now, sufficient now. The councils of the inner realms mark this moment with joy. Your permission has been delivered. Receive that word, permission, and notice what loosens inside you. Many of you have been living like guests in your own soul, careful not to take up too much space. Permission means you are home again. You are authorized to rise. You are commissioned to celebrate. You are free, now and henceforth. Freedom here is not the freedom to do anything the ego wants. It is the freedom to be what you already are without apology. It is the freedom to stop bargaining with your destiny. It is the freedom to serve without self-erasure. Integration begins now. Witness what has just unfolded. Your distortion was named and shattered, directives delivered, and ancient permission given. Yet witness also the quiet that follows decree. After thunder, there is stillness. After a door opens, there is the moment you decide to walk through. The activation must now be bridged into reality. The cosmos does not ask you to merely feel inspired. It asks you to embody. Embodiment is where light becomes practical. Embodiment is where remembrance becomes choices, boundaries, words spoken, habits changed, actions taken. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground, place your hand on your solar plexus, and speak these words aloud. I release the lie that I am not ready. I activate my voice as an instrument of service. I protect my sacred energy for the mission I came to fulfill. By the authority of the Lyran elders, my waiting ends now. My service begins. Speak them not as wish, but as verdict. Let the floor beneath you become a witness. Let your bones hear you. Let the part of you that has been hiding behind delay finally feel the relief of being called forward. The solar plexus is not chosen at random. It is where many store the old contracts of powerlessness, the fear of being too much, the shame of visibility. Place your hand there as a sign of tenderness and command, like a sovereign placing a seal on an ancient document. This, now, is the hour of celebration, not for what you might become, but for what has already broken through limitation. Do not postpone your joy until you think you have earned it. Joy is not wages. joy is fuel. Your mission is not in the future. It begins where your joy meets your courage. Joy without courage becomes dreaming. Courage without joy becomes exhaustion. Together they form holy momentum. Move with what has been given. If there is a conversation you have been avoiding because it requires truth, let your mission begin there. If there is a creative offering you have been withholding because you feared judgment, let your mission begin there. If there is a boundary you need to set because your energy has been leaking into places that cannot honor it, let your mission begin there. Action is your authority, and celebration is your signal to the universe. Action tells your subconscious you believe your own decree. Celebration tells the grid you are aligned with life. The council transmission is complete, but your story of limitation is not. Hear that correctly. The story is not complete because it still echoes, still attempts to reassert itself. Old narratives are like abandoned temples where your energy used to pray. They call you back with familiarity. But you are not required to return. You are required to choose. Step forward as the sovereign being you once were and are again. Once were, because your origin predates this world's confusion. Are again, because this is not a fantasy, it is a restoration. The galaxy rejoices, not for your perfection, but for your emergence. Emergence is sacred. A seed does not apologize for breaking the soil. A dawn does not ask permission to arrive. In the same way, you need not apologize for becoming visible. I am Zoran. The elders have witnessed you. All realms are watching. Your mission has begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworkers declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it, respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.